Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, this thing started up real quick. I wasn't even ready. Let me get my IG together, honey. Because this thing went quick. Quick. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Anwar White. I am a dating coach for smart and successful women of color. If you are a woman of color, you should be in here and you're single. We should be talking. We should be talking about how you're going to get your guy this year. Because here's the thing. I know a lot of you who have been following me for months, more than a year, and y'all still don't have your guy. And it doesn't make one iota of sense, as my mom would say. And so, I am here to help y'all out, to really give you the tea, yeah? Because ultimately, I want you to do this, and I want you to do it well. There are a lot of you that are struggling with this, and I want to offer to you that you don't have to struggle. You get to do this work and to find your guy. If you want help with that, definitely click the link in my bio. I am going to be here to help you with all of this if you want to work with me. I also have a lot of free opportunities for you to learn more. I have a podcast called the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast. I have a Sunday newsletter called Dating Tea that I spill every Sunday. I have free trainings in the link in my bio. So check all of those things out. I am not here, you don't have to work with me if you don't want to. I want to share with you that it's definitely something that I offer that can help you tremendously. I just came from a group session where we got to clarify exactly what our relationship, our dating patterns are so that we can break the patterns and we can actually do it in a different way. Okay? So, if that's something that's of interest to you, definitely check it out. If I say something on this live that you live for, that you love, tap the screen, double tap, triple tap, like, and we'll continue to rock and roll. All right? Okay. So let's see what's going on here. I think I have a mini viral situation happening on TikTok talking about the worst cities to date in as a woman of color. Yeah? First one is ATL. Second one is Houston. Third is LA. Fourth is Miami. Fifth is Phoenix. Yeah. That light flicker is confirmation from the ancestors. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. I'm not here to BS you. Yeah. Some of the cities that my clients have done really well in, New York, DMV area, people are saying DC is trash. The city of DC, trash. DMV, great. Great. Yeah? Interestingly enough, Hawaii is a great place to date for a person of color. Seattle, Washington, Bellevue, great place to date as well. Love those. I'm trying to think, what are some of the other places? And then North Carolina. Yeah. Great place to date. Charlotte, Raleigh, Research Triangle, all of that. So if you have any questions about dating, love, relationships, and men, put them in the comments. I will answer them. And let's get this party started, honey. Okay? Angeline, good to see you, girl. Yes, you were the first. I am the sun. Good to see you. Nana, good to see you. Hey, girl. Sabrina, good to see you. Kay. Delaney said, are you going to the Beyonce concert? I haven't gotten any tickets. I might get some maybe last minute or so, but I'm really busy. I just got some tickets to take my family to Europe this summer for the first half of July, so I'm really just focused on that more than anything else. Natasha said, yay, I'm early. Yes, girl. Sophisticated Lady said, woman of color and single right here. Good. Good. Sophisticated Lady said, I don't know when I should start backdating. You should do it now. Because things are heating up, girl. Things are heating up in the dating scene. Girl, the weather is weathering. The sun is out. Girl, let's get it. So, and let's not play these games, girl. Okay, so let me see what y'all are talking about. Okay. Natasha said, I'm in Houston. It's so hard. It is hard. The men in Houston are not financially stable and independent, and they think that their shit doesn't stink, and they're really not serving as much as they think that they are. Yeah, it's also really spread out, so it's hard to sometimes it's hard to meet people and to maintain those relationships. Janaea said, I love the podcast, started listening 2 weeks ago. Awesome. So my podcast is called the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast. Today, I just actually put down a new episode, and it's all about manifesting your husband. I manifested mine. The master manifester that I found on TikTok, her name is Raina Campbell. She came to the episode, to the podcast, and talked all about best practices in terms of how to manifest things in your life. So it's an amazing, amazing episode, so definitely check that out if you do have time. Okay. Nana said, it's ghetto out here, girl. These guys want to be female so bad, I'm tired. Here's the thing. Culture is changing. So just like there are a lot of women that are in their masculine energy, there are just as many men that are starting to become in their feminine energy. So the frustration that you have with men is the same frustration that men are having with women. Yeah. That's what makes dating so difficult. Peck asked on IG, what's the name of the episode again? It's called Manifesting Your Husband, girl. It's the latest podcast out there, and it's a good one, so definitely check that out. User 548 said, finally broke up with him today, feeling 10 times lighter, and your podcast helped. Yay! Amazing. So proud of you, girl. Moni said, married my high school sweetheart, getting divorced, and now I don't know how to date. Girl, that's okay. Take your time. Don't rush into it. You don't need to, yeah? We've got to be super healed, okay? We cannot rush into it, trying to fill voids, right? Or try to, level up or increase our self-esteem because we think that the divorce is a failure. It's not. So, take your time. Make sure that you're healed from the relationship, that it's not you still don't have emotions about it. Once you're at a place where you don't get emotional when talking about it, you're probably ready to date. Sarah Ebony said, I'm in Phoenix. Yeah, that's the 5th worst place to date for a black or brown woman. Okay? Tessie said, really, Houston? Yes, really, Houston. Ms. Petty said, what about Nebraska? So I don't really analyze states. I analyze major cities more than anything else. Eve, thank you so much for the rose. Ladybug said, yes, DMV. Beseme said, yes, DMV. My girls in the DMV are getting it. Alexandra said, what about Seattle? Seattle is good, but the tea about Seattle is that you are going to have to reach out because you got a lot of engineers, girl. A lot of Microsoft boys. The only time that I will actually recommend a dating app like Bumble will be if you live in a place that is tech heavy. So Seattle, Bellevue, Bay Area, San Francisco, Austin, and even New York. Yeah? You'll have to be on Bumble if you want to see some success in Seattle. Lexa said, please tell me how I text a laid-back, nonchalant man. You don't text him. You don't. If he's laid back and he's not doing anything, then there's nothing to be had. There's no interaction. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Poison Ivy said, hi, Anwar. Hey, girl, what about Chicago? I love Chicago. All my girls are getting their guys in Chicago. Interesting enough, they're meeting their guys on Coffee Meets Bagel in Chicago. I have 2 clients that are moving in with their guys this summer that live in Chicago, and they do a lot of double dates, so I love Chicago. Caramel Queen said, I need to move out of Miami. It's tough. It's tough out there. Queen Real Deal said, my daughter is at Microsoft in Seattle and she has a nice boyfriend at Microsoft too. Trying to tell you, Seattle is. Here's the thing, dating is hard everywhere, especially as a woman of color. So when I say easier, it's relatively speaking. Yeah, relative to the normal level of difficulty that dating is. So I want to offer that. What about the Bay Area? Bay Area is a little bit less difficult than LA. Doesn't mean that it's easy. Bay Area is difficult. Yeah. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. What are we talking about here? Thalia said, how to go from friends with benefits to a relationship. It is nearly impossible to do that. This is why I do not encourage friends with benefits at all. Yeah? It's not going to work. He literally has no incentive to be in a relationship with you because he's getting all of the girlfriend benefits through a friends with benefits situation. So it's very rare that anything like that would happen. You have to cut it off completely. Ladybug said, hey, Anwar, hey, girl. Little Beach said, Seattle men are too shy. You have to reach out to them first. That's why Bumble's going to be really good. Nikira said, not you rejected my consultation. Here's the thing, lady. Just because you apply for a consultation doesn't necessarily mean that I will take it. If I accepted all of the consultations, I would not have time for my family or my clients. So if you want to have a consultation, if you want to work with me, you have to be, love has to be a high priority for you. You have to be ready to invest in this program, and you have to be ready to start dating coaching now. If you want to do it in 3 to 6 months from now, that's fine. We'll just have a consultation in 3 to 6 months. If you don't want to invest in your love life, it doesn't make sense for me. If you have specific questions about your love life, you can come to this live and we can talk about it. Yeah? Girl, boundaries. Boundaries. That's what I'm doing. This is what I teach my clients how to do. So that's what this is all about. Okay. So let me see what's going on here. I'm just finding my place. Okay. Danny said, how to let someone know I'm not interested in them nicely. Hey, it's been really good to it's been really good getting to know you. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling a connection, but I want to wish you the best of luck. That's it. Caramel Queen said, did you say the top city for Black women? I don't really necessarily think that there's like a top city. I just said that the 3 cities that my clients regularly get their guy in: Chicago, the DMV area, not just DC specifically, and then New York. Lucy Bill says, when do you stop Olympic dating? When you get into an exclusive relationship. Yeah? Tessie said, I was stationed in Hawaii. You're right. Yeah, Hawaii's great. Top city for plus size women. It's hard for me to say. I don't really like whether my clients are curvy or not. I'm not really thinking about that. So hard to say. Rin said, how do I deal with being the only single friend in my group? Get an additional set of single friends that you can go out with and talk about like the single life with. Your people in relationships are not going to truly understand what you're going through right now because the dating game has changed. It's changed from a year ago. Like literally every year it's different. Nia said, too damn single, not even a crush, no butterflies, nothing. Okay. Aluria said, just watched your worst cities to date. I'm in Houston. Sorry about it, girl. Sorry about it. Obi said, how about Austin, Texas, moving from Houston soon? Girl, Texas and Florida are the worst places to date. Those states, guess what? Dallas is the best out of all of those, but it's still not great. Yeah, unfortunately. I'm not saying that it's impossible to get your guy. I'm just saying it's going to take you a very long time. So most of my clients in my VIP program, it's a 6-month program, get their guys between month 3 and month 6. In the places that I've just talked about, those women are getting their guys in month 9, month 12, right? I generally tell people, oh, you're going to have 100 conversations to get your guy. In places like Atlanta and Houston and LA, it's going to be 150, 200 conversations that you're going to need to have to find your guy. Yeah. Clivia said, yes, the podcast is 100%. Melanie said, yes, I love your podcast. Thank you so much, girl. I appreciate it. Shari said, I just saw your video about the worst places for women of color to date. What's your opinion on San Francisco or Oakland? So I used to actually live in San Francisco and Oakland and had a lot of amazing clients who have dated, gotten their guys there. Here's the thing. Many women of color will just focus on dating in Oakland, but you actually have to date like not just in Oakland and SF, but South SF, San Jose, the whole Bay Area. And we have to, for all of these cities that I'm talking about, you do yourself a great disservice if you're not dating everybody. If you're just trying to date a black guy, girl, forget about it. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to open yourself to Indian men, to East Asian men, to white men, to Hispanic men, especially in California. Yeah? So, I want to offer that to you. If you're not open, SF and Oakland are going to be very difficult. Yeah. I bet said, I definitely need your help. Book a consultation call, girl. The link is in my bio, and I will definitely help you. And, you know, my programs are amazing. 85 to 90% of my clients get into the best relationship of their lives. My job as a dating coach is to help my clients become the women that are ready for the best relationship of their lives. So if that's something that you want, definitely book a consultation call. Destiny said, I'm in the Midwest in Milwaukee. Girl, I'm sorry about that. Milwaukee is one of the most racist places in the nation. It is rough out there. What is my advice? Make sure that you vet these guys from a racial perspective, because there are so many racist more people in like places like Milwaukee and Boston. That's one thing. 2, you're gonna I think managing your expectations and knowing it's gonna take me a little bit longer to find my guy here. You have to be consistent. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Excuse me. Candace said, I want to date, but I'm no one's type in Utah. You'd be surprised. Are you Mormon or not Mormon, girl? That's the shade, because 50% of the people there are Mormon. If you're Mormon, you'll get a husband real quick, no shade. Poison Ivy said, what are the signs that a woman is in her masculine energy? So if I'm on, I will let you know women that are in their masculine energy. When they are sharing their judgments and they're not feelings, when they want to debate and argue, right? If someone comes to you with a problem, instead of empathizing or sympathizing, you're trying to give solutions. Those are all masculine energetic things that people do. Yeah? Cream Cheese Lover says, do you recommend dating while in college? Sure do. College is about education both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. Date. Please date. So that you have more experience when you get into your mid to later 20s. So many women of color are actually because many of them are late bloomers, are actually dating for the first time in their 20s, mid 20s. And your white counterparts started doing this when they were 12 and 13. They have 12, 13 years of more experience than you do. That's the shade. Ashley Marie says, Anwar, help, I have a crisis. Girl, put your question in the thing, and I'm gonna try to answer it the best that I can. Yeah? Sin said, do you think dating gets harder at a certain age? I think that it's interesting. I actually think that dating is the hardest in your 30s. especially for women that want to have children because they put so much pressure on themselves that they try to make things happen and they try to force it when it's not supposed to be. Yeah. I actually have an easier time of helping my clients in their 40s and 50s get into relationships than my clients that are in their 30s. Okay. Queen Kayani says, do you have advice for single mothers ready to date? Yes. Make sure you got a babysitter's club that you can rely on at the drop of a hat, drop of a dime. A lot of my single mothers are in their masculine energy because they're so used to taking care of everything that you're going to have to learn how to be in your feminine energy. I'm 99% sure about that. That's one thing. The second thing that I think is important for you to understand is you're going to have to let these guys do for you. Let them pursue you, right? You're going to have to step back and allow and accept and receive. It's also something that's really important as well. Linnea says, my mom told me to try to keep the men I meet out of my apartment. How do you feel about that? I completely agree. I think it's important to not be in enclosed spaces, private enclosed spaces with men until at least physical date 5. That means not in his car, not in his home, him not in your home. Totally agree. Your Mom Spaghetti said, is it okay to leave our profession off of our dating profiles or does it give unemployed vibes? My question is, why would you want to? It seems like you're hiding and that you are playing small. I don't like that. If you're a lawyer, tell these mofos that you're a lawyer. Don't be scared about it because your guy is going to love the fact that you're a lawyer. And if these guys are intimidated by your career, they're not the guy for you. And that can serve as an actual evaluation tool than anything else. Jada said, Anwar, I get so excited anytime you're live. Thank you, girl. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for the 4,000 likes. If there's anything that I'm saying that's resonating with you, tap that screen, double tap, triple tap. We want to run these likes up, girls. Yeah? Alex said, what about Orlando? Feeling hopeless out here. Orlando's difficult to date in. I have 3 clients that are currently in Orlando. It's tough. It's going to take, at least in my program, it generally takes around 9 to 12 months. Again, Florida and Texas are the worst states to actually, date for women of color. First name goddess said, I had a question. What was your question? Let's see what's going on. User 426. Have you worked with people in Canada? Tons of them. Tons. Mostly Toronto and Montreal. I live in Montreal, so. Let's see what's going on here. Is OkCupid good? Yes, it's one of the top 4 dating apps that dating sites that I recommend for women of color. Monet says, do you help the LGBTQ community? I sure do. I want to say about 5%, 5 to 10, not 10%, more like 5% of my clients are either lesbian or bisexual or pan. Girl, I'm trying to catch up with all of the acronyms and everything, my damn self. Just because I'm in the community doesn't mean I know everything. I'm old boots, honey. Trying to keep up with these youngins and all the new genders and sexualities and things like that. So, but yes, I've had pan, trans, bisexual, and lesbian women in my program. Okay, let's see. Cel Corazon said, struggling. I like someone 3 years younger, but I can't get over the age gap. Any advice? Yeah, girl, get over it. Girl, I thought you were going to say something like he is 10 to 15 years younger than you. Girl, 3 years is not anything. Yeah. What are you making that mean? First name goddess said, how would you deal with dating a melancholy man or a man dealing with symptoms of depression or mental health? I, I would give him the space to actually get the help that he needs, but support him from afar. He might not be ready to be dating you right now. He probably needs to focus on himself. Brianna said, any tips for traveling and dating? What do you mean? Like you go to Punta Cana, girl, and then you meet people, or like you're on vacay? What does that mean? User 426 at Toronto is rough. Toronto is rough. I did get a client, and she got her guy in Toronto. It was about 2 years ago. User 112 said, what about dating outside of our race? I definitely think that you should. Definitely. I think everyone should. I think that if you don't, I have a video, one that went viral, that I told all of the specifically black women to date outside of their race, date inside of their race, date all men, because if they don't, they are significantly lowering their chances of finding their guy. If you just focus on black men, you're looking at 1 out of every 50 guys that just has the bare minimum. If you're looking for a black man that makes 6 figures, is 6 feet tall, has a graduate degree, that's 1 out of 250 men. If you open everything up, that's 1 out of 7 men. Date everybody and see who treats you the best. Please, 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 please. I would say 70-80% of my clients end up getting with the black man, but the fact that you're open-minded and you're open-hearted is going to help you tremendously in your dating journey. Yeah. So please, please, if you are interested in learning how to date, because I'm getting a lot of questions, how do I get back out there? How do I date? Because many of you don't have a dating strategy. You definitely want to book a call with me. Because I'm going to help you how to do it. I'm going to help you learn how to do this and to do it efficiently and effectively, ultimately. Kat said, do you recommend speed dating or matchmakers? I don't. I'm actually going to go on a podcast tomorrow and talk about that with the head of marketing for OkCupid, where we're going to talk about how dating apps, we prefer dating apps over matchmakers. Because here's the thing. Just because somebody feeds you people doesn't mean that you're going to get your guy. I think a lot of matchmakers have like a 5% success rate. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam. Yeah? Okay, let me see what's going on. Oh, gosh. Y'all have a lot to say tonight, hunty. I love it. I scrolled up to as much as I could. I think I might have skipped a few people. If you don't hear your question in about 5 minutes, please put it back in there, okay? And thank you so much for the 8,000 likes. I appreciate it. Dating at 60 recommendations. Go on Match.com. Yeah? What do we do if we live in Houston? Like, should I move? My family is from here. Be open to dating people in other cities as well as Houston. Yeah, you're going to have to do double duty here. Move that profile around to different cities and see what happens. Yeah. Pretty Marie, good to see you, girl. Hope you're well. Dan says, does the difficulty apply for white men in Atlanta? Are you looking for just black men, or are you looking for another demographic? It depends. King Nicole says, what are your thoughts for women over 30? In terms of what, girl? Let's give me some more specificity. Username, do all your clients find their man through online/dating apps? No, I would say probably 2/3 of them do, though. Yeah. A lot of my clients are really busy, so the apps are something that we actually definitely use quite a bit. It's a significant part of our dating strategy. So I want to offer that to you. If that is something that you are vehemently against, then my program probably is not going to be a good fit for you. June Girl said, "Hi, Anwar. Listen to your podcast about solo dating. Totally gave me a new perspective on self-love." Good. Yeah, y'all check out my podcast episode on solo dating. It's really good. Lulo said, "I will be booking a consultation." Amazing. I look forward to getting to know you and seeing if it's a good fit or not. Miss Energetic said, "This guy I started dating hasn't spoken to me in a week. He just reached out again. Should I engage?" It depends. What did he reach out and say? Did he give you an apology? Did he acknowledge his absence? Did he try to schedule any sort of date or phone call with you? If he hasn't, I want to let him go. Michelle said, "I'm Olympic dating. Do you let them know you're dating other people or wait until they ask?" We wait until they ask. Yeah. Heart emoji said, "OMG, you're filled with so much information." Yeah, girl, I read a lot. And I've been coaching for 13 years. I've coached thousands of women and helped them get their guy. That's why. I've seen it all. I've coached it all. Okay, let me see what's going on in IG, ladies. Tasha said, "I'm starting to really like a guy I've been dating for 6 weeks. Good, but I have reason to believe he is love bombing me. What are some ways I can set boundaries so he can slow down in showing affection?" So give me some examples of how he's love bombing you, and then I'll give you some language that you can share with him around boundaries. Via Zidra said, "How do you feel about dating a man for a while, but he's everything you'd want in a guy, but you don't find him attractive physically, but he has everything you'd want?" If he is a 5 out of 10, then I want you to continue to engage with him for another 2 to 3 weeks. And if your attraction to him grows in those 2 to 3 weeks, continue to engage. If it doesn't, you're going to have to let him go. Beautiful Reflection said, "I'm widowed but nervous about dating." I hear that, girl. I understand that. Definitely can help you if you want to join one of my programs, but please understand that you're going to have to learn how to date in 2023 because it's different than probably when you were dating back when you were dating. Yeah? If you weren't nervous, then I would worry about you. It means that you're not taking this seriously enough. Butterfly said, "What can an asexual woman date? How can an asexual woman date?" The same way that everybody else dates, really. The way that I think about courtship is that there really shouldn't be much anything sexual happening anyway. So that's why I answer in the way that I do. I'm not being flippant. Beautiful Reflection said, "Do we do a paid subscription to OkCupid? I find a lot of ninjas." Not ninja squirrel. You can. I usually say give it a week or two and see if the app is going to give you what you need. Sometimes what a lot of people do is they pay for all these apps, but then after a week or so, everything goes dry. You want to wait a couple of weeks. Yeah? Okay, let's see what's going on here. Lady says, "What is your opinion if the guy's action does not align with his words?" Let him go. Little said, "What would be your first tip for dating because I don't want to tell a man I'm a late bloomer?" My first tip? What do you mean, girl? I don't know what that means. Always Priceless said, "White women teach their girls ring before spring while we learn that sting can wait. Focus on work." Yeah, definitely. Username says, "What's a good age to think about marriage for us late bloomers?" I always think in the 30s, honey. Most men that have a bachelor's or graduate degrees, they don't really start to even think about settling down until minimum 32. Okay. Nikki said, "Any advice for late bloomers? Is it a turnoff to share that you don't have much experience dating?" No, you just have to give context to it, right? Yeah, I've really been focused on my schooling and getting a great job, so I haven't really prioritized dating, but I'm prioritizing it now. That's what it sounds like. LB said, I'm 31, don't want kids, but I find it hard dating as a plus size person in Atlanta. Everybody's having trouble dating in ATL. I just want you to know that. And I call it out. There are six women to every one guy. Singles, I'm talking about, that are ready for a relationship. So these guys are not settling down in ATL for the most part. They are playing the field and they are not like coupling as many of them would. And many of them are flaky and treating these women in ATL like nothing because guess what? Even if he treats you like shit, he has another five women that are waiting for him. There's no incentive to actually, for these ATL guys to like lock it down. Bebe said he's ready to propose, but I question his financial ability to take care of me and future children. Why is that? Has he been able to take care of you throughout the relationship for however long it's been? Liasa said, do you have any thoughts, negative or positive, about Facebook dating app? I'm not a fan of Facebook dating. I like Match, I like OkCupid, I like Coffee Meets Bagel, and I like Hinge. Hinge in C cities. Yeah, not in A cities like New York or LA or Atlanta. Hinge will kill you. You'll get nothing in the big cities if you go on Hinge. Oh my God, thank you so much for the 11,500 likes that y'all have given me. I so appreciate it. Okay. Trish said, for women in their 30s, how long should we give a man to step up and commit before moving on? For an exclusive relationship, 3 months. If he can't do that at 3 months, he's out. He's out. Yeah? If you have been dating him for 2 years and he can't engage, he's out. He's out. Alicia Nicole said, any tips for meeting off of the dating apps? I'm tired of them. Yeah, the thing that I want you to think about when you're on apps is that you're gonna have to take periodic breaks. So every 4 to 6 weeks, you want to take a week off. Okay. In terms of meeting people off of the dating apps, you gotta live your life. You need to be seen in the same place every week, same time, same bat time, same bat channel, same bat place every week so you can be found. Men are not seeing you once and trying to get your number anymore. It's a slow burn, so that means that if you work out at 6 p.m. on Friday, you want to be consistent and work 6 p.m. on Friday, every Friday, or as many Fridays as you can, right? Or if you want to do the hiking club, or you want to do the charity work, or you want to go to that country club, or that's what you want to do. Poison Ivy said, Anwar, earliest sign to detect in a narcissistic man. Couple of things, right? When you're vulnerable, does he empathize or sympathize, or does he talk about himself? Interesting enough, you know how yawns are really contagious? If you yawn and he doesn't yawn back, he might be a narcissist. Yeah. Yeah. Adora Miss said, should I date during school or after? Both. Both. Pretty Marie said, you are so gifted, friend. Thank you so much, Pretty Marie. I hope that we can start working together soon, girl. Yanni said, I'm a New Yorker in LA. My hinge is in the UK. Is that okay? Yes, girl. You want to switch it up every now and then. But please understand, like, I want you to be open and willing to potentially either move there or travel there. You want to be open to that possibility if you're going to put your profile there. Yeah. Jay said thoughts on Chicago. I love Chicago as a dating city. Most of my clients there get their guy. Austin, a bit challenging, but not impossible. I have two clients in Austin right now. One of them's about to get into an exclusive relationship with someone not in Texas. What about Philly? Philly is good. Not impossible. I mean, here's the thing: it's all of it is tough. If it wasn't tough, I wouldn't be booked and busy. Yeah, so I just want to offer that. Lovely said, can you share the stories of the successful women in Chicago? Yeah, no problem. So I had a client. She was got her MBA. She's a consultant, and she was really afraid of finding guys that were at her level. And part of the work was actually helping her date a variety of different men so she can come from an accepting place versus a judgmental place. And so she actually ended up getting with a guy that is getting his PhD at a local university. He's Hispanic. In Chicago, you're gonna have to date everybody. You can't just date one race. The city's too segregated for that. You're gonna have to date everybody. So one of her friends that was in the program actually ended up with an African man. They're both going to be moving in with their guys this summer. They were both in my dating program, and then since so many of my dating clients are getting into great relationships, most of them actually continue to work with me in my follow-up relationship program. And this helps in the relationship program. It helps them go through the different milestones, whether it's saying I love you, meeting the parents, moving in together, and then getting engaged. Yeah. Poison said, est-ce que tu parles français? Oui, je parle français. I live in Montreal. I must. Jade said, hey, Montreal, I'm from Quebec. I know that's right, girl. I know that's right. Any Muslim clients? I've had a few over the last couple of years, but not many. I want to say like I get maybe one a year, one every 2 years. Monet said, tips for introverts to initiate conversations. I think that it's important to be able to give someone a compliment. Hey, I really like your shirt. Where'd you get it from? Or ask someone for help. Hey, can you get me these green beans in the grocery store? Or asking for a recommendation. Hey, I usually get this at Starbucks. What do you usually get? Yeah? Those are just some examples of how to initiate conversations. Okay. I'm getting a question about dating apps for women of color. My recommendations are Coffee Meets Bagel, Match, OkCupid, and Hinge in some cities. Darling said, guide me to my man ASAP. Girl, I'm trying. That's why I'm here on these lives. I'm really trying to give you all the tea, girl. All the tea. Yeah? Trying my very best. Remy said, what are your thoughts on dating in the DC DMV area? I think DC proper is horrible. DMV spread out. Good shit, as they say. Yeah? That's the thing. If you're a woman of color and you are dating and you're on these apps, put your radius high. Don't do 20 or 30 miles. Do 50, 100, even 200 miles. That's what I want to offer to you. That's what it's going to take. Honeybee said on IG, thoughts on long distance relationships, ATL here, it's piss in the pool. Love long distance relationships. That's how I met my partner. But the thing about long distance relationships is that he's going to need to see you in the first 4 to 6 weeks. If he's not able to do that, we have to let him go. Kyra said, how are you helping your clients? Is it one-on-one? So I have two programs. I have a VIP program. This is where we do group calls, which I did tonight. And then I also do weekly one-on-ones with them. And then they also get access to me via text 24/7. Right? So there's a one-on-one aspect for the VIP program. Then I have a Get Your Guy membership club, an annual membership. And that is just in a group container coaching. Okay, it's similar to these lives, but instead of me taking 15 seconds to answer a question, we'll get deep into it and talk about it, each question for 5 to 10 minutes on Thursday nights. Okay. I'm seeing some comments in here about where am I reading the questions. You have to understand that I am mad delayed, that I'll probably get to your question in 5 to 10 minutes, just because there are many more comments and questions than it takes me to get through them. So please be patient, okay? And thank you so much for the 17,000 likes on here. I appreciate it. Username said, what do you think about dating professional athletes? I have a couple of clients that like to do this. I'm not a fan of it. And I want the women that I'm working with to be the number one thing in their men's lives. As a professional athlete, they'll never make you number one. That's just it. And you deserve to be number one. Darling said, I want a black man. I don't know if that will be my story, though. I want the man that's going to treat you the best. And if you want to focus on a black man, girl, your love life, but you are eliminating 87% of the men out there. Don't come to me saying it's hard when you're eliminating 87% of the men out there. Pretty Marie said, write a book. I'm writing a book, girl. I actually finished my rough draft, and I'm sending my draft to my editor next week. It's going to probably launch in the fall time if everything lines up accordingly. And if y'all want to be part of my launch team, shouting it out, sharing it, reviews, DM me or send me an email, Anwar@getyourguycoaching.com, and I'll put you on my launch team list. I'm going to need all the help that I can get when it comes to getting my book out there. It's going to be all about how to date with strategy, because most women don't have a strategy to date, and it's killing me. It's killing me softly. It's killing me loudly. It's just killing me. So I said this first book has to be about how to date with strategy. My second book is going to be about how to date as a woman of color, like what you will need to do. Okay, let me scroll and see where I'm at. The comment queen said, dating a new guy, he changed our date from Mother's Day to tomorrow. Should I be concerned? No, it's probably better that he is not dating you on Mother's Day. Maybe he has other things to do, like hang out with his own mother, which if that's the case, then good on him. Miss Kimmy, should you move in together before marriage? Yes, you should. Yes, you should. In 2023, I tell all of my relationship clients, move in before marriage. You need to see if he's going to be able to contribute to the household or not. The top reason why people are getting divorced, it's because there are working mothers who are working their ass off at work and then doing 80 to 90% of managing the household at home, including taking care of the kids. You have to see how it is to live with him for at least 6 months before marrying a guy. Okay? Tiffany said, do you have any tips on practicing being less debatable? Yes. Here's the thing. Especially on early dates, you gotta just be in observation mode. We have to stop trying to be right. what I want us to do is I want us to listen to what other people are saying and then check in with ourselves to try to see how that makes us feel. When you're debating someone, you don't have time enough to check in with yourself. Yeah, so practicing being less debatable by checking in with yourself and always having an answer to how do I feel? How do I feel? Rashonda says, is it rude to give guys on these apps your Google number first? Not at all. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Okay. Brown09 said, do you believe fitness of the body plays a large part in successful dating, like body shape? Not necessarily. I think there are some guys that are going to be hyper focused on that, but the guys that are hyper focused on that, you really don't want to be with. Those guys are looking for not the whole woman, just a certain part of the woman. I do think, like, in your 50s, your health and your fitness is a very big important part of how men are going to think about you and evaluate you for dating, because he's thinking about retiring and is this woman going to be able to take care of me in my elder age based on how she takes care of herself now. Okay. The brain emoji said, how did you get into dating coaching? What's your journey? I have been doing this since I was a kid in elementary school, helping the boys talk to the girls and the girls talk to the boys. I know you don't see it now, but honey, I'm 6'2", 6'3", and I used to ball it up on the basketball court. So I always was able to navigate the boys' circles and then also obviously the girls' circles. I was double dutching with them, playing Foursquare, all the T girls. So I've always been doing this work. I didn't really start formally doing it until about 13 years ago, though, when I had graduated from getting my MBA from an Ivy League institution, and all my girlfriends who were amazing were struggling in love, but everything else was going well for them. I was like, girl, let me just solve this for you. This is ridiculous. These men are so simple and easy. And that's what I did. I took over their online profiles, transform them, help them every step of the way. And in a couple of months, they were in great relationships. And in a couple of years, they were getting engaged. And I was like, I'm going to start doing this. And that's what I did. Raise Joy, dating advice for a dark-skinned black woman living in LA. Large radius, and put your profile in different cities. Yeah, meaning you want to have one profile in the LA area for like a month, and then I want you to move that profile to a different city. Yeah, you want to have a couple of profiles at the same time. One of them as a dark-skinned woman in LA, another one in a different city, right? And then rotate, 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 rotate. Iman said, ATL is so bad for dating. It's the worst city to date in for women of color. Who is Chris Jack said, what about dating in Arizona, specifically Phoenix? Phoenix is the 5th worst place to date. The 4th is Miami, the 3rd is LA, the 2nd is Houston, the 1st is Atlanta. T Skull said, what advice would you give someone who's emotionally unavailable? I am emotionally unavailable. Okay, girl. Well, I am glad that, first of all, we're aware of it. That is the first step beyond anything else. So, number one, I'm proud of you. Number two, we have to understand where that comes from, which often means that we're going to have to figure out what those inner childhood wounds are, right? Because you're emotionally unavailable for a reason. And oftentimes it's because there was no space to actually express our emotions when we were growing up. So we were conditioned to understand that no one cares about our emotions, so we're not going to even engage in them anymore. So we actually have to heal those inner child wounds before we can start to open our hearts up to be a bit more emotionally available. And then practice being vulnerable, sharing your feelings with friends, with family, and in your romantic life. That's what I do in my program. So if you are interested in learning how to become emotionally available and vulnerable, and in your feminine energy and learn how to set boundaries in your relationship, book a consultation call. The link is in my bio, and I'm going to teach you how to do all of that and more so that you can be thriving in your love life and in all of your relationships, because that's really what it's all about. Pamela Lee said, I think my hinge is broken. Why do you say that? Hinge is only really great for C cities, not A cities like New York, Atlanta, DC, LA, Chicago, Houston, but like C cities like Indianapolis, St. Louis, Charleston, Orlando, things like that. Parker, 3, thank you so much for the rose. Kendra said, what are your thoughts on dating someone that is separated but going through a divorce? Don't date men that are separated, please. I've been doing this work for 13 years. It rarely works. There's something that I tell my kids all the time. And what I tell them is, everything that you do, you need to complete. So when you make your lunch in the morning time, when you take the bread out of the pantry, you have to close the door. You have to put the bread back and you need to close the door. These men that are separated and not divorced have not put their bread back and have not closed the door. You don't want a man who does that. Because guess what? There won't be just one pantry door open for those men. There are going to be a lot of them. Okay? Don't date a separated man. He's not ready. To Christy Lou said, did you post the city ratings last week? I did it today, and it's gone viral. I think it has like 120,000 views already on TikTok. Poison Ivy said, Anwar, do you also provide advice on relationships or just dating? So I have a couple of dating programs and I have a couple of relationship programs. The relationship programs are really for my dating graduates because they already have gone through my program, so they already have this foundational knowledge. Trish B said, it's so overwhelming to manage so many conversation on dating apps. Any tips? Yeah. Just do a little bit each day. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. When the 10 minutes is up, you go back to it in the evening. I think we get overwhelmed because we feel like we have to like engage with everybody that engages with us and do it immediately. And you don't. Your love life is on your pace. Hey, Chris. Good evening, girl. I hope you're well. Let me see what's going on here. Rastanina said, why don't I see more women of color dating outside of their race? Because there is a toxic loyalty out there with Black women where they feel, and this is something that has been programmed. We got to stick with the Black man, right? And part of it is like, it's this weird psychological BS where it's like, it's also because many of our Black fathers were emotionally and physically distant that actually so many of us naturally gravitate to Black men, thinking that we will heal some of those voids in our fatherly relationship. So that's something that happens as well, kind of in the background. Not a lot of people talk about. But also they think that these other people are not checking for them, these non-Black men. But non-Black men are checking for Black women. They just are not going to approach you, which means that you have to approach them differently. You have to have a different way of initiating with these non-Black men. Okay? Yeah. I would say, 20-25% of my clients get with non-Black men. The rest get with Black men. But the work in my program is being open-minded enough to be able to be with someone who is not Black. Yeah? Siobhan, thank you so much for the 20 roses, girl. I appreciate it. Fran Powerhouse, any dating advice for a woman with 4 children? Good question. Get a babysitter. Don't have your older children take care of your younger children. They'll resent you later on in life. Realize that your children will be a really great evaluation tool while you're dating. Don't think of your children as beings that are holding you back from getting your guy, because sometimes we can believe that, whether we want to admit it to ourselves or not. They are going to figure out who's serious about you and who isn't. Yeah? Trying to think. Yeah, I think as a single mother, you're probably in your masculine energy, so you're going to have to learn how to sit comfortably in your feminine energy. User 658, tips on how to be comfortable around men when you are not used to engaging with the men. Online dating. Start by just having regular conversations with men. And when they get out of line, being able to set those boundaries, girl. Yeah. Chantal said, are you going to the Beyonce concert? I don't know. Maybe, girl. Chris said, I'm packing my bags for Canada. Come on then, girl. Don't go to Toronto, though. Jasmine said, have you worked with ladies from Northern California? I have. My most recent lady got into an amazing relationship. Let me see what's going on. Kendra said, when should your partner let you meet their family? It's going to be different for every partner. I have a client that is with an Indian man. When an Indian man introduces you to his family, it's basically telling the family that I'm going to marry this woman. So it's going to take a little bit longer than, say, someone who is American. Yeah, so it just really depends on the guy. Candy said, what about Stir for single parents? I'm not really a huge fan of the niche sites like Farmer Dating or, I think they had Bernie Sanders dating or, plus size dating. I just think the broad general sites, and at least in my experience, I've been a dating coach for 13 years, have worked out really well. Kendra said, do you work in any state? I work with women all around the world. I have clients in Dubai, I have clients in England, France, Mexico, Singapore, Korea. I have clients all around the world. Unenlightened said, I want to hire you. Please work in London. Message me. Yeah, you can book a consultation call and we'll see if it's a good fit. And if it is, yeah, girl, we'll help you get your guy. Thank you so much for the almost 25,000 likes, y'all. I appreciate it. Okay, lost my place, y'all. As I'm finding my place, check out the link in my bio. I have a ton of different opportunities for you. If you're interested in a Sunday newsletter, a link for my podcast, a link for my free trainings, I have a link for my Get Your Guide tours. I'm taking a group of women to Rome this fall and then Istanbul next spring. So lots of different opportunities. Okay, let me see what's going on in IG. How many people to date at once is too many? Dates, not intimacy. I always say Olympic date. You want a gold medalist, a silver medalist, and a bronze medalist. So anywhere from 3 to 5. Juan M. Juan said, what do you recommend for people in harder dating cities? Booking a consult? Um, yeah, book a consult if you want to work with me. Yeah. In terms of harder cities, understand that it's not going to be like that it's going to take 9 months to a year of consistent, intentional work and intentional dating. So many people stop after a week or two. You can't do that in some of these harder cities. You're going to have to realize it's going to take 9 months to a year. Yeah. Amelia said, oop, where did you go to school? If you went to UPenn, then hey, twin, hey, girl. No, I went to Columbia, girl. I'm a New York girl. Yeah. Juan said, how do you broach having a profile in a different city? In the profile, you can say, hey, I'm currently located in this city, but definitely, traveling quite a bit, and probably will be in your city soon enough. Let me see what we're talking about over here. Marie said, how do you feel about buying a guy you've been dating for a month a small birthday gift, i.e. a wallet? A wallet is too much. When you say dating, are you talking about you're in an exclusive relationship or you're dating without commitment? If you're dating without commitment, I would not get him a gift. That's girlfriend territory. Babe said, wait, why isn't Washington State on the bad list? I think a lot of it is not great, but like in Seattle and Bellevue, that's a great place to date, tell you that much. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Kalex said, let me book my appointment. Good girl. We got a man in here, honey. Olu Funshu says, I am 40, no kids, doctor, doing my MBA, Christian, living in Philly. I got someone asking him, but are you emotionally available? Yes, girl. Yes. All of that. He said, yes, I am. Are we about to create a love connection up in TikTok, honey? All right, Barriqua, get your guy, girl. Get your guy. JSDS said, is Boston a B city or a C city? It's a B city. San Francisco is a B city. Lydia, thank you so much for the hearts, girl. Miss Sandra said, do you work with women who date women? I sure do. Roughly 5% of my clients are bisexual or lesbians. Lisa said, how's the book coming along? It's coming along quite well. I have to turn in my edited version to the professional editor next week, so that's exciting. Thank you for asking and keeping me honest. I appreciate it. Jin Bev said, "Oh, I loved when you talked about it on your podcast." Thank you. On the rise said, "But also as a black woman, I'm afraid that I'll marry a closeted racist." Well, the hope is that you're having those conversations before you marry him. Yeah. Poison Ivy, Anwar, big question. How did you manage to calculate that 80% of men are not ready for a relationship? I did a video about this on TikTok. I want to say about 3 weeks ago. So definitely check that video out where I break it down in terms of why. KO said, when you said toxic loyalty, whew, it's true. Yeah. Natasha said, I think many of us just find black men more attractive. It's programming. It's all programming. Guess what? If you were born and you lived in Thailand, you would think that Thai guys are more attractive. T said, have you had any success stories with black women and Arab men? Yes, many of them. Many. These men, Middle Eastern or Egyptian or from Dubai, Emirati. Ugo said, my mom says you gotta drop that handkerchief differently. I know that's right, Mom. Come through. Come all the way through. She's not playing around. KO said, oh, you're so wise. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sasha said, white men flirting is very hard to detect. I always realize it late. A lot of white men will just stare at you. You'll have to kind of initiate it, start a conversation, and see how he drives the conversation forward. Bunny said, what do you know about lesbians in the DMV area? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Yellow Rose said, I want a relationship, but I'm healing first. Good girl. You get to heal, but also you get to do that healing while you're dating too, when you're ready. Chris said, the Canadian men have been loving me lately on OkCupid. I'm not mad at it, and I'm not surprised by it. Okay, let's see what's going on. What are the requirements for clients? They're going to have to be coachable. I'm not here to fight with people about what's right and what's not right. I've been doing this for 13 years. Like, I just taught a session for my VIP clients, and some of them, what they were saying in the chat was, please listen to Anwar. Anytime I don't, I get into trouble because because something is going awry. Be coachable. Take action, right? Because there's going to be a lot of time in my program where I'm going to be like, okay, this week we need to set a boundary with your mom. When are you going to do it? What boundary do we need to set? And then you need to do it. And if you're avoidant and you want to be passive and you don't want to do the work, I don't want to work with you. And that's no shade. I want to work with women that want to do the work. Okay? And obviously, you'll need to be able to pay for the services. Yeah? What's the age range for my clients? My youngest one was 26. My oldest one is 57, 58. But most of my clients are between 30 and 50. Olu said I should start helping men. I don't want to work with men. I love black and brown women, so that's why I work with them. And that's always going to be the case. Juan says, sometimes I feel like the advice toward black women is a little negative. Do you center encouragement? I'd like to think so. I'll let everybody else in the chat make that determination. Nyla Archer said, is it true that if a man is not planning dates or giving sweet gestures, he really isn't interested? For the most part, yes. Lisa said, what's up with Toronto? Good question. I think that Toronto has a very high East Asian and South Asian population. And unfortunately, a lot of those cultures are really not. A lot of men are attracted to those women. That's number one. And then, so a lot of black and brown women are not getting the attention that they really want or need in a place like Toronto. Chris said, you're going to learn today about Anwar, LOL. Girl, I am very nice. I am, but my boundaries are solid. Yeah. Stars the Limit said, I think I'm going to sign up. You totally should. I have two different programs. One, if you want a really intense, kind of more personalized one-on-one experience with me, and then a more group, self-paced program, right? Different levels of coaching, different investment levels. Okay? Someone was talking about different hair. I get treated very differently with my natural 4C versus braids. Yes, 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 very much so. It's interesting, depending on where you are, some people will actually, and the kind of men that you're talking to, some men will prefer the natural versus the braids. I don't really want to get into that. It makes me uncomfortable. I think it's weird that guys are into certain kinds of black hair. Stars the Limit said, I'm in Florida. How do I book a consultation? Go to the link in my profile, in my bio, and then click on the button that says book a consultation. Yeah? Sophisticated Lady says, is it true that a man will change for the woman that he wants to be with? I think it's partly true. I think that what will happen is he will be inspired to do so, but ultimately it's up to him about whether he's going to do it or not. Some guys love women to death, but still don't have the skills to change. Right? So the question is, it's a great question, but it's two-part. Sometimes these men don't have the skills to level up. Other times they do and will, not for themselves, but for the women that they want to eventually marry. Okay. I see that the one man in this chat is really trying to slide into some people's DMs, which is really funny. Lady Amanda, thank you so much for the 2 roses. Sienna said, I've been loving your videos. Thank you so much. Sis is Blessed said, do you work with plus size women? I sure do. I want to say 20% of my clients are curvier. Yeah. I don't have a weight limit or a size. Girl, that's not what we do here. We work with everybody. Stars to Limit says, what is the process like once you take on a client? Great question. So, one of the things, once you say, yes, I want to get my guy this year, um, you'll get access, you'll get into the private Facebook group with 100 of different Black and brown women. I'll introduce you in that Facebook group, and all of the ladies will be like, best decision ever. So glad that you're here. You'll get access to my online course that has 25 plus hours of content in it, with modules on dating strategy, vulnerability, boundaries, dating mindset, masculine and feminine energy, relationship needs, and healing your inner child wounds. And then what we'll do first and foremost is you'll have a one-on-one with me, where I'll get to know you a little bit more, because I have to know you to coach you. Once we do that, we'll start working on your online profile. We'll do a couple of editing rounds of that, and then you'll be off to the races. And in that time, I will teach you how to date in the way that I want you to date. I have a whole strategy that I teach my clients. So you'll start instituting that for the next couple of weeks. While you're doing that, you'll also be attending the group calls that are happening on Wednesday nights. Yeah. So tonight we talked about and got clear on what are your deadly dating patterns. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about how to lead an exclusivity conversation, because most of y'all don't, no shade. And then what I did was I, put the ladies in breakout rooms and they role played doing that exclusivity conversation. Yeah, just to give you an example of what we're doing on a weekly basis. And then, throughout the week, what will happen is I'll check in on you like once a week, and you can check in with me if you have any questions, you're concerned, if you're triggered. We get to box or text with one another or voice note each other on what's happening, what's going on. My clients will must reach out to me after each either phone date or physical date that they have. And we get to talk through it, gain some insight, understand what we liked, what we didn't like, all of that. So that's what the process looks like. Most of my clients will get their guys between months 3 and 6 of my program. Like I said before, for those harder cities like Houston, Atlanta, LA, it's probably going to take 9 to 12 months. Okay. My VIP program is 6 months. If you don't get your guy in 6 months, I continue to support you for another 6 months until you get your guy. Nikisha said, should I continue to talk with this guy? He says he doesn't have a job right now. Do not engage men that are unemployed. Please. They're not ready to date. They're not self-actualized. Taydal says, do you recommend long-distance dating? I recommend dating as a dating coach, whether it's short distance or long distance. User 823 said, wait, do white men truly flirt differently? Yeah, they'll just stare at you. Because these non-black men think that black women are just focused on black men. So, and men are very sensitive, especially as it pertains to rejection. So if he thinks that you're going to reject him, he's not even going to try. So you have to give him extra green lights. You have to smile, you have to wave, even bring him over here or start a conversation. Chris said, what's the tea on Canadian men? Well, as someone who is married to a Canadian man, many of them are very nice. Many of them are quite sensitive, especially if they're French Canadian. Frenchies are quite sensitive. What I've learned about Canadian men is that for the most part, they're not really complainers, except for the weather. But like, you got to do hard work. You got to shovel the snow. They're not really going to complain a lot. Erica Wilson said, I'm convinced that my future husband is not here in the US. I don't feel any connection here. That's how I felt too, girl. That's why I had to put my profiles in Barcelona 1 week, Berlin 1 week, London 1 week, Paris 1 week, Montreal 1 week, Toronto 1 week. And now I'm with a guy from Montreal. No shade, all tea. Get it, girl. Get it. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Let me see what the tea is. As I am scrolling to try to find my place, if you're interested in working with me, definitely go to the link in my bio and book a consultation call. Yeah? And we'll see if it's a good fit or not. No pressure. Horton, here's a monologue set. What's your rate? So the rates for my programs are in the application and the consultation, and you can choose which one you'd be more interested in. I will tell you that I do have monthly payments, so it's all very digestible. So definitely check out that. But it can be anywhere from the low 4 figures to the mid 4 figures. I will say that. D Guapa said, I love your voice. Thank you, girl. I appreciate it. Olu said, fair enough. I guess I can understand you don't want to work with us men. It's okay. Let me see what's going on here. What about Miami for black women? Girl, Miami is one of the worst places to date. Florida is the shade. Tiffany Murphy, best place for plus size successful business owning black women to date. For plus size women, the best place for you to date is, this sounds like a really weird answer, but like most of the time it's mostly in your head. You gotta make sure that that is where it needs to be. Like clear, like secure, confident, and y'all can date anywhere. Iman said, I'm with an East Asian man in Cali, shockingly. I'm not shocked by that. It's challenging, but it's not impossible. Diamond Williams said, should women be establishing careers before dating? I would suggest it. Caught in the mirage. Said, I feel like you do a good job of being realistic about the issues we actually face dating. I try my best, girl. What I think is really important is to make sure that you know what's in front of you, so your expectations can be managed, right? That's my job as a dating coach. I'm like, okay, girl, this dating thing, it's weird. It's like going to Mars. But girl, I literally go to Mars every day. So I'm going to tell you where the weird aliens are, where the craters are so you don't fall in and like break your ankle, where to get food, all of that stuff. All right, Olu, the ladies are telling me to remove you. So you're done, okay? I listen to my ladies. All right. He's gone, ladies. Allie Love, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate it. And thank you so much for the hand hearts. Carolina girl says, I love this breakdown. Thank you for sharing how this all works. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, girl. Gemini said, extensive training in your program. Very good. Yep. Lydia, thank you so much for the marvelous confetti. Obi says, people encourage me to date outside of my political bubble. I'm liberal and only date liberal. Thoughts? I think it's really important to date a variety of different people. You don't have to marry them. You don't have to be in a committed relationship with them. But I do think it's important to have dates with people that you wouldn't normally have dates with, because it will allow you to get to know different parts of yourself. Shy versus Bold said, please post videos when you do the Turkey and Rome trips. I sure will, honey. I sure will. Molly said, do people call your advice the male version of Sprinkle Sprinkle? Not really. I don't think so. Natav said, do you work with single mothers? Yeah, I do. I would say probably like a third of my clients are single moms. Cameron said, should the man take the initiative to plan the first date, or is that too much pressure? No, your guy is going to want to do that. Don't think that it's too much pressure. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Let me see where I was. Give me a second, okay? Lady Amanda said, what's the second program? Are you talking about my membership, my monthly membership? Let me know and I'll explain it a little bit more. Let me see what time it is, because I am going to be... Girl, I gotta go to bed. I've been so tired. Marie says, do you work with 23-year-olds? Not generally, but if you're really committed to this and have the means, who am I to say no? Lady Amanda said, he said there are two programs. There's a VIP and then there's a club. There's a club, yeah. Trish said 4 figures monthly. No, in total investment. Total investment. Alexa said, are you still married? Yeah, girl, I hope so. Let me ask my boo. Yeah, girl, been married for... about to be 10 years? KZ said, is texting throughout the day a sign of desperation from a guy? No, most of the time it's because he's interested, but your next step is just to set boundaries with him, especially if it's during the workday. All right, my loves, I think I'm going to go now. I need to go to bed. I'll be back here on Sunday, okay? Book that consultation call because, ladies, like, it's getting busy, especially with some of my videos going viral. So, if you want to work with me, book that call. Otherwise, I have a lot of opportunities for you to continue to learn about this stuff. Please understand that, like, you don't have to work with me. You can come to these lives every week and still level up and get your guy if you want to. I think that the value add of joining the program is doing some of the deeper work, right? And getting some of the true dating strategy that's going to help you only date high quality men that are ready for a relationship. Okay? Uh, but yeah, so listen to my podcast. I have almost 100 episodes there. Um, Sign up for my newsletter. It comes out every Sunday. Those are the best ways to kind of keep up with me, okay? And we'll go from there. Taylor, you said you asked your question 4 times, but I didn't answer. What was the question? And I apologize for that. Sometimes what happens is like literally it it goes so fast that I'm not able to actually scroll up to all of the question. So if you ask the question, I will definitely answer it right now, girl. So ask your question, girl. Let me see what's going on. D said sign up for the newsletter, y'all. It's bomb. It better be bomb, girl. Yeah, Taylor, put your question in there. Ooh, who did? Thank you. I am Bree Chanel for the 3 roses. I appreciate it. Liz said just book my consult. Good girl. Trying to see if I can find Taylor's question. I hate missing questions that people have posted. Yeah, I'm not finding it. All right, y'all. Be well. Date like the queens that you are. Oh, she just posted it again. Okay, hold on. Advice for late 20-somethings new to the dating scene. Online, depending on where you are. Hinge, definitely for 20-somethings. Here's the thing. As a black woman, your late 20-somethings is going to be like early 20s for a white woman. Have a shit ton of fun. Don't put pressure on yourself where you feel like you have to like get into some sort of committed relationship. It actually serves you much better to just start dating multiple people without a level of seriousness, just to get that under your belt so that you know how to engage in this part of your life and have like your bearings about you, right? So many people will like not have a lot of experience and then date one person and then get in a relationship with them without having that experience. And I actually think it hurts them because they have to like learn how to go from 0 to 100 in a relationship. And I actually think that being able to like engage with a variety of different men will help you realize how to be with a man more seriously, more intimately, because you will know yourself more as you've dated more and different kinds of guys. Okay? Awesome. Thank you all so much for the 35,000 likes. And I hope that you all do have a great week. And I will talk with you soon enough. Okay? Bye-bye.